Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com doing an Emini Trading recap for the 12th, Wednesday. And today we made 337.50, which was equivalent to 6.75 points. We were 3 for 2 and our longest trade was 5 minutes and 20 seconds. You can see we had 4 contracts losing and it says 5 winning. There's a mistake there because it should say 6. So we had 3 trades that were actually successful. So I don't know what happened. It says 50%. But anyway, this is what we did today. It's what I did today in the trading room. And some people there follow all of my trades. Some people follow a couple trades. Some people follow a few trades and they mostly just look at my analysis. I analyze the markets as we trade, and some people just take comfort in that, just having me analyze, and then they can analyze and see, and they learn the trading system as they progress, and then when they feel comfortable they can start trading. Some people like that, some people trade, so it is what it is. But let's get into what happened today. So our first 2 trades were stop outs. We've been talking this whole week. How do you react when you have a stop out? How do you not overtrade? So this, I guess, is a great example. Your first 2 trades are stop outs, and then you end the day over $300 net. So basically, we kind of started today here, moved up a little bit, came down. As price did come down, I got long up here at 47.28. I was thinking, it's starting to move up. Let's see if it holds here, and then we could get a very strong day. And as price opened, I knew it was either going to be strong or sideways, probably. Didn't really expect it to come down this much. But, you'll see later on that we were able to actually make a little bit of money on it. So I took a long here, got stopped out fairly quickly on that, and then kind of just had to reassess things. Well, I'm reading it a little differently. It did come down. It did come up a little bit from there. And then it did come down again. So there's something I'm not reading correctly. What am I supposed to look for? So I took that first loss and then just kind of watched things for a little bit. Watched them. Saw price start to push up here. And decided, well, I want to get long again. I like this action. I like this action off here, even though it did move down a little bit. And now that it's moving higher, I want to get long. And, what did I do? A little bit aggressive again. I got long at 29, 47.29, and price came down to 26.5. So got stopped out of that one. Not by that much, but a stop out is a stop out. Doesn't really matter what happens. My motto is I can always re-enter. So whether you get stopped out or you make money on a trade, you can always re-enter at a later time. So I'm not pressured into, trying to get points or whatever. So kind of watched them. As price came down here, I had my entry already. So as price shot up, I had my entry down here. I knew that I wanted to get long, and I threw in my order at 47.28, which was a perfect order. It doesn't always happen like that, but when it does, it's really, really good. So basically, price just, trades beyond your order, but it just never trades any of that. So it trades 28, 27.75, and 27.75 just never actually trades. 28 is the only thing that trades on that order, and then it just takes off. And when that does happen, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So we took our first profit here, and then we just watched price come up, watched it come up, and then as it started pushing up here, it did come down and then started to push up again. And as that happened, I moved my stop up to 36 even, and I knew if it was going to keep going, it was going to keep going. If it was going to come down, it was something I was totally happy being out of, and then I could always re-enter. And that's exactly what happened. It came down, stopped me out, and then it went up a little slightly more, came down again, And then I kind of just watched it a little bit from there. As it came down here, I did get long again at 47.32 right here. Price came down to 47.31. So I took 1 point of heat on that, and then it went up in my favor. So I took first profit at 34 even, and then got stopped out for 1 tick in profit on the rest. So after that, price did start chopping around, and it came down, came up, came down, came up, and I kind of just watched things a little bit to see what would actually happen. No real rush. It's okay. We were already in a little profit, and then when I saw price come down here, I felt like probably good time to short, especially when it did come down and make new lows here and it came back up. I knew I wanted to be short, and I also knew that if it didn't take levels out down here, there was a good chance it could support. So I ended up getting short at 47.06 right up here, about 11.19, and I got my first target hit at 04, which would have been right here actually, and then it did come back up, stopped me out for 1 tick in the profit, and then it did come down a little bit, and then it did support and actually start pushing higher. So it was a very interesting day. Netting $300, not a bad day at all. And our whole week, we've just been printing money this whole week, and that is always a good thing. But one thing I wanted to talk about, when you are having a good week, it's very easy to think that you're smarter than the market. Oh, I'm doing so well. I'm a genius. Look at me. I'm a genius. And then you overtrade and start making asinine decisions, and it just snowballs into a negative P&L, and it just is very, very hurtful. I'm sure everybody has been through that. I've been through that before. It was something I had to work on early on. Whenever I had a good day, it was difficult because I knew that I would start to eventually develop an ego, and that is what would happen. So long ago, I had to do things that would help me out. I will do these little things. I didn't trade on Mondays and Fridays for a few years, just because usually those days I wasn't as mentally focused. Probably because Monday is just a new day to the week, and I wasn't watching the markets, and I just came in, so I started not trading on Mondays. Well, now Monday's my favorite day. I love Mondays. That's when the market starts every week, unless it's a holiday, which next week is. So that's a bummer. But it's good if you enjoy holidays. You know. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So just basically want to talk about that. Hopefully, something I've said did make a little bit of sense. Our longest trade that made money was 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Our longest trade that was a stop out was 9 seconds. Our average win was 147. Our average loss was 100. So, you always want your average win to be more than your average loss. But it's not always going to be a 2-for-1, a 3-for-1, 4-for-1. Sometimes it's going to be like 1.47 to 1. Which is what today was. Most day trading is going to be a grind. Some days are going to be super fun, like yesterday, for example. Just a super fun day. It was easy. This day, I started with 2 stop outs, which made the day, you kind of had a claw back. But by my 4th trade, I was already in profit. The 5th trade was icing on the cake. That just, made even more money. But that's what trading is. Most trading is going to be a little bit of a grind. It's going to, especially day trading. Day trading is difficult. But once you learn how to day trade, you can set your own hourly rate. You can set your own hours. You can, trade for 2.5 hours a day, spend maybe 20 minutes in the morning. You don't really have to do a lot of analysis because if you're already familiar with the markets and you're already trading, you don't have to do a lot of analysis. Like some people say, "Oh, I did an hour of analysis and I day traded the ES." Well, that's just ridiculous, man. Like, does that make sense? Not really. So when you look at the market and the way that I teach, people how to trade, I've taught lots and lots of people how to trade. So I kind of know what I'm doing as far as my strategy is concerned. And I teach people my strategy, and we're all human and we're all different. And that's one of the great things about this world is everybody's a little bit different, which is awesome. I think everyone I meet I can learn something from, and I believe that. I believe everybody I meet I can learn something from. It doesn't matter what I learn from them, but I can learn something from them. And that is what makes the world great. Well, when I teach somebody my trading strategy, it becomes their trading strategy because it's strategy I developed, but I mean now they have that strategy and they can put their own emphasis on it. It's going to be similar, mine and theirs. It's going to be very similar, but it's also going to be different. And say, for example, we're all traders. Say, for example, Elliott wave theory. You've probably heard of that. There's so many people online that do it wrong, and it just irks me to death. But if you give 10 people the same chart, 10 different people the same chart, and tell them what's your Elliott wave analysis, you're going to get 10 different analyses. And that's ridiculous in itself, right? Well, if I teach 10 different people my trading style, it's all going to be very, very similar. Our entries are going to be very, very similar. Might be off by a couple ticks here and there, but they're going to be very similar. So just wanted to kind of point that out a little bit as well. I've gotten a few questions on that. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, then nobody will watch it. But hopefully you got something out of today's video. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. Also, if you want to contact me directly, description box, there's a contact form there. With that, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you in the markets. Thanks, and take care.